Hello, Macy. My name is Sean Everett. I'm the website analysis expert at Zucor Marketing. Thank you so much for talking with Megan. She sent your website over to me for analysis. Now, the first thing I have to tell you is that you have a big, beautiful site. It is interesting because you have so many different service areas, but it's interesting to me that Florida is sort of pushed off to the side, if you will. I mean, it's listed down here, but the service areas, it would be a lot easier if they were side by side as opposed to, because I didn't even know I thought, Ohio. I didn't realize Florida was down below there. So just something to make note of. There's certainly enough room to have them be side by side. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is how I do a analysis in general. And what I'm going to tell you is that your site is beautiful enough that when somebody gets here, they're going to enjoy being here. It's interactive. It's got a good color theme. It's got good fonts. But it is underperforming in several of the areas that you serve. And I'm going to show you one of them. And it's interesting because I'm going to have to explain this. Anyway, I'll get to that. First off, I have a tool that I use. It's called Ahrefs, and it gives me the metrics of your site. Shows me how it's been performing over the last couple of months. Now, the next thing I do is a good old Google search. This one I did for Columbus, Ohio, since that's one of your major areas. And the reason that I did that is because the numbers on your site are somewhat inflated because of the number of service areas you have. So I'll explain that as we get going. Now, the reason that I went to Google is because Google is responsible for about 96% of your traffic. And that is a huge amount. And a lot of people don't know how Google works. And that being the case, a lot of people aren't making use of Google as they could. Google is not unknown. Google has a lot of things that people know about. It's been studied for years. So we know pretty much what it wants. Now, and if you don't, then you're missing out because Google can really help your business. Now, I'm going to explain how Google works by showing you the results of this particular search. Google has an algorithm, and the algorithm determines the placement of everything. And obviously, being near the top of a Google search is a lot better than being, pages and pages down. The first thing I'm going to show you is that they have these, what they call sponsored, but they're actually just paid listings. And that's not a bad strategy. Sometimes it's good for folks. Underneath that, they have what they call the map pack, and at least that's what we in the industry call it. They call it businesses. And these three folks here stand out because they did something that the folks down here did not do, and that is they filled out a Google business profile. And a Google business profile is like any other online profile. There's a lot of boxes to fill in, and it'll ask you what year you started your business, what your daily hours are of opening and closing. And if it is done thoroughly enough and precisely enough, because Google is a computer company after all, then they could reward you with a spot up here near the top of a search. Now that is great. And this little area here in the map pack is somewhat different from down here. You can be in both. In fact, you can see Able Roofing is there, and they're also number 2 here. Now, what I'm going to show you is the number 1 result. The first result that I find is Newman Roofing, and I'm going to refer to them as your Google competitor for the purpose of this analysis. Now, I'm going to click on them, and hopefully they come up quickly. There they are. All right. Now, their site isn't, it's fine. Here is your site again, and I'm going to do something really quick. I'm going to copy and paste your entire homepage into this word counter. 779, there we go. And then I'm going to do the same for Newman, copy and paste, and there we go. 694. So you guys are sort of neck and neck in this. It's not a lot of difference between the two of you. However, you can have the advantage here because Google wants more than this. Google wants about double this. Google wants 1,500 words on your homepage. And the reason for that is that Google believes that every page that they send their search customers to should be able to educate them about whatever it was that they typed in a Google search box. And whether that be for academia, if they're studying oceanography, or whether it be looking for a roofer in Florida or in Ohio, it makes no difference. They want to have their search customers know more about whatever they typed in than they did before they typed it in. So that is their expectation. But all the words on a Google search are not the same. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Keywords. You have 3,100 keywords, which is a huge amount of keywords. I see some of the sites where folks have like, I don't know, 200 or 300. You're doing really well in that department. I'm going to show you what Newman has, your Google competitor. They have only 1,500. And I'm going to show you what some of their keywords are. Roofing companies, Columbus, obviously. Compañías de roofing cerca de mi ubicación. So companies, roofing companies near me, essentially, near my location. And that's kind of smart because they're going for the Spanish-speaking folks. And that is not a bad thing to do at all. If they have a whole area devoted to the Spanish speakers, that is a really smart move, especially, I mean, and these folks are in Ohio, especially in Florida, I would imagine. So that is one way that you can increase your keywords. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is backlinks. You have 533 backlinks on 176 domains. I'm going to show you they have 1,100 backlinks on 143 different domains. So the domain number isn't that different from each other. Let me show you what they have, and this might be why the discrepancy. They have several in the 90s here, 3 in the 90s, a bunch in the 80s, and a bunch in the 70s. And that's kind of where you want this. That's the sweet spot for the ratings of the sites that you're on. Now, these numbers are a scale of 0 to 100. They're called the domain rating. And that shows the strength of a domain's backlink profile, meaning that there are a lot of sites that have MapQuest on their site, and they refer back to it. They say, if you want to find us, go to MapQuest. So they have a lot of sites that refer to them. So that's what makes them have a 91. Redfin obviously is the real estate one. Yellow Pages, those are all good. Super Pages, Yahoo, This Old House, all of that stuff. And those are good ones to get onto. Sometimes it's as simple as filling out a profile like you would on the Google business profile. And sometimes it takes more work than that. But either way, it isn't impossible to get on these sites. Now, this is what it all comes down to. Even though that you were a little bit more in some of the areas, your traffic last month was 1,900, which is not bad. Truly, it is not. And here's what your competitor had, 2,700. It's not quite double, obviously, but it's 1,000 more a month than you had, which means that they have 1,000 more opportunities to have one of their visitors become a customer and put money in their pocket. Now, the reason that I mentioned earlier that your numbers are somewhat inflated, you have traffic of 1,900, but that's because you have so many different service areas and you have so many different places that people can, say, oh, this is my local roofer here. And because you're between 2 different states, that makes this number much higher. So just bear in mind that by actual location, these numbers actually have to sort of be divided amongst the different locations you're in. As particularly on your website, the ones with the red dots on them, making them like London, Columbus, and then down here, Palm Bay and Cape Coral. Those are the ones that you want to really give them their own page so that they feel like they are, separate from the other service areas that you have. So that is my analysis from top to bottom. All of the things that I've told you, I'm going to recap. It's the Google Business Profile. It is the more keywords and also more of the well-numbered backlinks. And if you do that, then there's a good chance of coming up to the top of a Google search page. And the reason you want to do that is because it means more traffic, much more traffic. And of course, that means much more money in your pocket. So if you would like to do that, that's what I would suggest. But if you would like somebody else to do that, because it is a long and dull and laborious process, then by all means, please give Meg a call. She would be happy to guide you into the next steps. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.